Hey, hi, ho, whoa! We're live now, by the way. Just thought I'd let you know, babe. Bang. Yes, load from save point, please. I will say, I'm munching on dinner rolls right now. So sorry. I wanted one more. I just have a pack of them here. Like. But now there are just like 2 left next to each other that are just like total butt. Hold on, for Andrew, because at least he would be able to laugh. Buns. I know you're not much of a butt man. Ass man. But you know. Buns. Can I not make humor?
Yeah.
What was that? What?
I don't know.
Ugh. Oh. Sorry, now my mouth is all dry. This is what you get for eating on stream. I should have done it earlier, but...
I'll be right back.
Okay, babe. Okay. Alright. Have I been... I gotta remember where I was in the case. Because, like, I think I started pressing on these statements, but I don't really remember. I am immediately thrust back into this case, and just this game in general. The game series in general, and I'm reminded of how much of a dice roll it is. With, like, what sort of shit Phoenix is about to say whenever you press. Yeah, anyways. What happened afterwards? My attacker was in front of me, blocking off my escape. I think. You think? After getting hit like that, I was in a state of panic. There were only two things rolling in my mind at the time. Well now, this is beginning to get interesting. So, oh god, great, now I have the hiccups. Again, this is what I get for fucking eating on stream. I am sorry. Oh god. Am I okay now? I think I'm okay now. Alright. So, what were the two things rolling around in your mind? My name is Maya Fey. 1 + 1 = 2. You see, for some crazy reason, I was afraid I was going to lose my memory. I know it's odd considering my life was in danger, but that's how it was. That's not odd at all. Your actions are understandable given the circumstances. So, what did you do then? I think I screamed, "Help me!" You think you screamed, but you're not sure? Listen, I was a complete wreck. It was dark and I couldn't see my attacker. Was it a man, a woman, an adult, a child? I had no idea. I was scared out of my wits. Believe me, my dear, I'm certain I would have soiled my robes. I wouldn't think you would want to do that in those. Or be able to, they're so billowy. That's... okay. That was a terrible pass one joke. Yeah, my sense of humor is destroyed. I don't know. I never would have wanted to know that. Yeah. Still lily hanging fruit. Maybe I shouldn't be trying to make a funnier joke out of a terrible joke. I would have soiled my robes. It's not a joke, that's why it's a terrible joke. Anyways, I thought this person might attack me, so I... Anyway, I'm pretty sure I screamed. So I, anyway. So I what? Anyway, I'm pretty sure I screamed. I thought that was my last hope. Wow, it sounds like poor little Maya really was out of her mind. But I wonder what she meant by last hope. What do I do? Do I press her for more details? My last hope. Wait a minute, Maya. What's this my last hope stuff? What? What do you mean by your last hope? No. That's what you said. You said my last hope. Huh? What? I said what? Look, you were facing an attacker you couldn't see and you screamed, right? You screamed, "Help me." Yeah. But you testified that you screamed that because you thought it was your last hope. Oh, well, you know, that's like, what do you call it when that happens? Maya's not doing so well up there. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. I remember now. I was facing my attacker, but that's not who I was screaming at. Ooh, what did you just say? Yeah, that's right. It was the person behind my attacker that I was yelling at. That's who I was screaming to for help. Ah! What is it now? I messed up. I didn't mean to let that slip out. Huh? Who? What? Huh? Witness, are you absolutely sure of what you're saying? Behind the attacker there was another person? I am, well, I meant to keep that part a secret. Maya? You know you can commit witness nullification. Technically, you have a right to remain silent, but now, the fact that you have said that you meant to keep it a secret means you're technically aiding and abetting. Maybe. With someone who is trying to fucking murder you. What the shit? Or someone who was complicit. Maybe. Who knows? What have I done? It takes a ton of pressure to make a diamond. That's what I always say. A ton of pressure. You're in court of law here. You can't make things up or try to hide things in this chamber. Bang. Witness, the information you just presented is vital to this case. I want you to add it to your testimony. I could see a man behind my attacker and by the light of the stun lantern. A man? Okay, hold up. Then something warm splashed over me.
I just saw this man.
Who? A man? Who was this man? Well, you see, I couldn't see. You couldn't see? She used this excuse twice now. Well, you know, lantern light isn't very bright. Lantern light, did you say? There's a great big stone lantern in the garden. Maya, wasn't that lantern not lit? Hold up. Was not lit the night of the crime. Okay. So, Maya? What are you talking about? I mean, there's a smaller one, but she's saying the great big one. They always light it when an acolyte is there for training. Hey, you know what they say. Under the lantern, darkness reigns. So I could see the person that was further away, but not my attacker, who was closer. Plus, there weren't any other light sources in the garden at the time. Okay, I'll have to present that in a moment. Then something warm splashed over me. I want to get all the testimony. You don't mean, was it? I don't know what, I didn't know it at the time, but I think it was probably blood. Is she saying that's when Miss Denham, who was channeling Dahlia, was stabbed in the back by the killer? At that moment, I was paralyzed with fear. I was just sitting there in the snow. I'm sure blood got on everything around me. That's when I lost consciousness. This is making things very complicated. So what happened next? I don't remember. How were you saved? I don't remember. You don't even remember that? No. I haven't got any idea. I really don't know what happened at all. That's too bad. I've worked side by side with Maya for 3 years now. My God. He's been a lawyer for 3 years. When she hides something, I can tell by how she acts. And right now, I'm absolutely certain she's hiding something. Oh, we know. Alright, so let's present the stone lantern because it was not fucking lit. Objection! So there was a man standing behind your attacker? Yeah. That man, he's the killer. He stabbed her from behind. He's the one who killed Elise Denham, otherwise known as Misty Faye, your mother. The killer? Maya, you know who killed your mother, don't you? What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright? To be frank, Your Honor, I think she is in shock and quite confused. That's why she hasn't noticed a huge problem with her testimony. Huh? What do you mean? What problem? Any notes from the peanut gallery or no?
What?
I was asking, any notes from the peanut gallery?
Peanuts?
Alright, I'm gonna actually move my chair over a little bit because I have mispositioned, like, everything. Yeah, anyways. Huh? What do you mean? What problem? Maya. On the night of the crime, that stone lantern was out of commission. Huh? What? It's true. There was no light anywhere in the garden that night. No. Well, there wasn't no light. It's just that it wasn't from that lantern. Order? Order on the court? Mr. Godot, explain this. Add the pureness of milk to the perfect clear darkness of coffee. Stir. That is the state of the witness's mind right now. A cup of cafe au lait. Cafe au lait? Is that even legal? You're a judge. You should know it's more complicated than just asking if it's legal. Mr. Wright's words are the milk and you are the spoon, Your Honor. Oh my, Godot. I'm a spoon? I'm no spoony bot, I'll have you know. You must have noticed it too, Trite. This witness' mental state is highly unstable right now. It's not too hard to understand why she would make a little mistake like that. Objection. Sorry, but that's not going to cut it. What did you say? If there truly was no light in the garden, then there's a fatal contradiction in the witness' last bit of testimony. Nick? May I? Recall the witness' statement about her attacker. She said that she didn't know if it was a man or a woman, even an adult or a child. And yet, the witness could describe a person that was standing behind her attacker, and she quite clearly described him as a man. In other words, that would mean that Maya actually saw our mystery person, despite it being so dark that she couldn't see the face of the attacker in front of her. No! Bang, bang, order, order. What in the world does this all mean, Mr. Wright? Are you saying Miss Faye saw the real killer under pitch black conditions? Objection. Trite, do you have any idea what you're proposing? Someone holding a fucking lantern. How could she have seen in the dark? A fucking lantern or some shit. There was no other light source at the scene. Objection. There are some things that you can only see in the dark, Mr. Godot. Maya, you did see who the killer was in the dark, and now you're trying to cover for him. Cover? For the man that killed her mother? There's only one conclusion I can draw from this. You know who this man is. Please, Nick. I don't know anything. Please, I'm begging you. Huh. You talk a good game, Trite. Let's see if you can walk the walk. It was pitch black, so how could the witness see? I'm calling your bluff. No, Nick, don't. Please, stop. Maya's dead set on protecting this guy, the man who murdered Maya's long-lost mother. But I can't let him get away with it. I'm a lawyer, an officer of the court. I'm here to find the truth. All right, Mr. Wright. Time to show us what you've got. Who was this person that you saw, that you say Miss Faye saw in the darkness?
Yeah, who is the person that Miss Faye saw in the darkness? Is that what you think the answer is?
I am uncertain. The thing is, does his mask glow? We've only ever seen him in bright light.
Maybe. Yes, we have. Don't you remember there was that time where everything went dark or something, I think?
Oh, there was.
And the only thing that glue
and it
was it did glued.
I was onto something.
I mean,
well, we'll see. Ahem. Because it was pitch black, Miss Faye was able to recognize the killer easily. I'm sure the court for itself would like to see for itself how this is possible, yes? What? But how do you propose to show us something like that? It's easy. We just need to recreate the conditions of that night. Conditions? Your Honor, the defense officially requests that all the lights in this courtroom be turned off. But it can't be. Huh. That was a nice bit of deduction. That's right. Oh boy. Well, everyone, this is the man Maya saw the night of the murder. Order, order. Prosecutor Godot, what is the meaning of this? Surely you must be shocked to hear yourself accused of such a thing. Why aren't you denying it? Your Honor, you're asking the wrong person. What do you mean by that? If you got a question, ask a witness. That's one of my rules. Well, Maya, how about it? What you saw that night? Was it 3 glowing red lights? Well, witness, answer the question. You're wrong. I never saw that. Maya? I thought the person that stabbed my mother was a man, for a totally different reason. What?
Yeah. I'm gonna lie under court again, and I still get away with this shit.
What is... No, stop your chattering, Your Honor. Chattering? If it's worth asking, ask the witness. That's one of my rules. Alright.
Smack!
Well, then let's continue with the testimony. Please tell us how you knew the killer was a man. Yes, Your Honor. I didn't realize it until after I woke up, but... The killer!
The killer!
When I came to, I was just lying there on the training hall floor. By the time I got back to the garden, the place had totally changed. The torches were lit, and the body was gone. All the snow around the stone lantern had been carefully cleaned up, too. That's why all the blood was gone. Since the person did all that work alone, I just assumed it was a man. Really? Really? That's what you're going with, Maya? So it was after the crime took place that the witness came to think the killer was a man? Yes, that's right. I'm sorry, Your Honor, No need to apologize. It's as Mr. Godot said, you're utterly exhausted. It's only natural that you would be a little confused. Also, if you consider the situation you described, it doesn't seem too much of a stretch to assume the criminal was a man. Mr. Wright, proceed with your cross-examination. The killer. Hold it. So you lost consciousness when you were in the garden, is that correct? Yes, I think. I think it happened when the victim was stabbed. So then the person that carried you into the inner temple... it could only have been the killer. That's what I think too. So the killer carried Maya into the inner temple. By the time I got back to the garden, the place was totally changed. Hold it. Naturally, the killer must have done it, right? Yes, I think so. But why would the killer tamper with the crime scene like that? There must have been something that the killer desperately wanted to hide. I don't know. It looks like she doesn't have enough confidence. I think I need to gather some more information before I ask her again. Okay. The torches were lit and the body was gone. The torches were lit? Yes, that's how I noticed that the whole scene had changed. I'm going to say it was the killer who lit the torches. I mean, who else could it be? The killer probably lit them when it seemed to be impossible to do any cover-up work in the dark. However, if that's true, there's one thing that still bothers me. Why did the killer go to the effort of moving the body? That's true. It's hard to see how that would be of any advantage to the killer. The only one who would gain anything from that would be the only person that was at the inner temple, Maya. Very well. Let me hear some more about the condition of the crime scene. And all the snow around the snow lantern had been carefully cleaned up too. Hold it.
Hold it!
So you're saying the killer cleaned up the snow? I mean, it did look really odd. The snow had been removed in an unnatural looking rectangular shape around the lantern.
It's not unnatural. What do you have against rectangles, you racist? Don't be rude to rectangles. Rectangles deserve all the love. They're the sides. Shape. They're the shape of beds. Most of them are. Unless it's a giant king bed, then it usually turns into more of a square. Or like queen beds. Then you're basically a square. But those thin ones are rectangles.
I know some king beds are like wider than they are long.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like you look at a California king bed, that's definitely like a big square. I wonder if it could be
You mean
tall
wider?
enough. It could just be a cube.
It's not just a square, babe. They're
Yeah, but
wider
then
than they are long.
Yeah, but what if it was longer than it was wide or something? I don't know. And then it could be taller, and then it could just be a cube.
So like a 4-poster bed with drapery?
Ooh,
Bed
yeah,
cube.
that's technically a cube. I just meant the mattress being like all the way to the ceiling, so it's like super fucking long.
Like the fucking Princess and the Pea?
Yeah, except it's all one mattress.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. See, isn't this the great commentary y'all people come for?
Maybe it is.
Shit that pops up out of my mind because I really have nothing better to do and I don't want to do the voices. I mean, I kind of want to do the voices, but it's more fun just giving random commentary because I have nothing better to do. What are we playing after this, by the way? We figured that out yet?
After this, I thought we wanted to do some of the Lego co-op games.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say Danganronpa, but...
Well, I wanted to do some of the co-op games just to involve you a little bit more, and then we could
Again,
do
I don't
Danganronpa.
know if I'm actually able to play along.
If you're able to play
You have
along,
to
you
figure
said?
out how to do that. Right. Because I'm already using this laptop to stream with you and do the voice. I guess I could do that on my phone and then play on my laptop? I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. Because also, I probably don't know if I have enough space. Because Gmod takes up all my space. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gmod's fine. I'm glad I got back into it. I guess I could stop now. And uninstall
Although, I
it.
wonder if, like, Danganronpa or anything has, like, remote play or something?
No, it's a single-person game.
Well, because of that, I'm thinking, like,
Visual
remote play
novel.
as in you remote into the device.
No, I don't think so. It's just you
Most
being a
games allow you
detective.
to remote in using a different computer.
It's
It's like a virtual machine, but not really.
I don't know.
As far as I'm aware, part of the point is just being able to, like, play a game with your phone or something when you have your computer set up at home.
I don't know. I don't know.
But
So,
anyways, my thought was like, oh hey, you could just have the Steam app open and then remote in, or like remote stream view, and then you would be able to like just read. But it's basically a screen share at that point.
what?
But it's basically a screen share. Like, it's just screen sharing at that
I
point.
don't know.
But, yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah.
Anyways, there were a lot of shovels around the inner temple, but they're all really heavy. Way too heavy for me to use. An odd fellow indeed, this killer. Why on earth would anyone want to take Snow away? Well, there's one thing I can think of. Didn't you say that a lot of the victims' blood sprayed onto the snow? Yeah. The area collapsed and ended up being splattered. In other words, the killer's purpose was to hide the body snow, or bloody snow. I think that's the most reasonable explanation. Perhaps. However, there's something that's bothering me. If the killer just wanted to hide the snow with blood on it, there was no need to remove that amount. That's true. He could have scooped up just the snow that was stained with blood. However, scooping up only that would have looked suspicious. This person wanted to make it look like the lantern melted it, didn't they? It looks like there are some mysteries behind this issue. But I think this will help explain them. Since the person did all that work alone, I just assumed it was a man. So, you're saying that you never saw the killer, right? Yes. But earlier you very clearly stated that you saw a man behind your attacker. Nick, I'm sorry. The killer certainly went through a lot of trouble. Moving the body by pendulum, manipulating the crime scene. But for what purpose? Why do all that? Maybe Maya knows more than she's letting on. Alright, I need to ask this again. Naturally, the killer must have done it, right? Yes, I think so. But why did the killer tamper with the crime scene like that? There must have been something that the killer desperately wanted to hide. The truth is, when I saw the crime scene, I felt something. You did? Yes. I felt like the killer was hiding the evidence for me. For my sake. What? Hiding it for you? Everyone knew that I was the only one at the Inner Temple that night. It's Sister Bikini had come back and looked at the garden. She may have thought that you had done it. No, she definitely would have thought so. And you're saying that's why the killer cleaned up the crime scene to make it look like nothing had happened? Yes, I'm sure of it. Well, that's certainly an important piece of information. I want you to add that to your testimony. Yes, Your Honor. I think it was for my sake that the killer cleaned up the evidence of what had happened. Okay. Hold it. They did it for your sake? Well, if the body and the blood hadn't been removed, I would have immediately been the prime suspect, right? Yes, I suppose that's true. Yeah, and if that happened, the body would have caused some other problems too. If her real identity come out right then, it would have been terrible. Master of the Crane killed by her own daughter. I don't think Maya would have been able to handle it. But still, it's rather difficult to fathom the killer's motives. What reason is there to go through that much trouble to protect you? The torches were lit, and the body was gone. I'm trying to piece together order of events, because I think it was... I'm almost thinking that Misty possessed someone to do all the cleanup. And I'm thinking Misty possessed Pearl. Right? Like, Pearl was just there. Not really doing much. Just surviving, I guess. But... Who actually did the thing? That's a very good question. Alright. Let me go through my evidence real fast. In reverse order because of the fact that the newer stuff is usually more relevant. Stone lantern was not lit. The Dusky Bridge photo with the hanging wire. The dagger. The blood doesn't match the victims. Who did this dagger stab? Who had this dagger? The burnt letter. Orders from Morgan Fay. The talisman, crystal sphere dropped off. Larry's horrible sketch.
Present! Not that. No.
Tracks photo.
No. 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 Wait, maybe.
The lantern?
Maybe. You have to be the one to present it. I will never give you the answer. Only no's and maybes.
Hmm. I'm trying to think in terms of how this works. The body of Elise Denim was carried all the way to Hazakura Temple's courtyard. Then at the garden, the real scene of the crime, the snow that we suspect was covered in blood, was scooped up and removed. It's reasonable to believe all this was done in an attempt to hide the true crime scene. However, there's still one matter that still seems somewhat odd. Oh, and what would that be? You must have figured it out by now, Mr. Godot. It's the message written in blood on the lantern. It was written very clearly on the white stone lantern. Maya. If the killer was so motivated to protect Maya from suspicion, then why didn't he wipe the writing off the lantern? Oh, you're right. Oh, I didn't think about... I was thinking about that earlier, but then I totally forgot about it, of course. I need to turn my room light on. I'll be back. Give me a moment. Oh my god, I totally have a moment. I think I'm so fucking funny. No, actually, I don't, but...
Yeah, I know you don't. What did you do?
What? Huh?
What happened? I was not paying attention.
I just turned my room light on.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, who said you could do that? You're supposed to play in the dark.
I hear them calling my name.
Stop that. We're getting copyright struck. It's all because of you. God damn it.
I don't go to...
Stop it.
Yeah. Order! Order! Mr. Wright, isn't it a fact that the killer was trying to cover up the crime scene? Indeed, but it doesn't make much sense to move the body and remove the bloody snow, then not wipe off the most incriminating thing of all, the bloody writing. Let alone wherever that came from. But if that's the case, do you have an explanation for the killer's mysterious behavior? Yeah. Why would this killer move the body and remove all the snow, but then leave the bloody writing on the lantern? I don't know what the killer's plan was, but it's a fact that the killer left the writing on the lantern. There must be a reason for it. Well then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your opinion. Why did the killer leave the message written in blood on the lantern? The killer wrote it to pin the crime on Maya. The killer didn't notice it. Let me look at that lantern again. I'm wondering if the lantern itself was the thing that was lit. The torches were lit, but the lantern wasn't. But if somehow the killer decided to light the lantern instead, then what? Wouldn't the writing just not be visible? I'm wondering whether or not the killer wrote it or didn't notice it, because I don't know if the killer was just trying to pin the crime on Maya. Because I don't think the killer tried to pin it on Maya specifically. I'm wondering who the hell even wrote it. The only person it makes sense would be the killer, right? Like, no way did Misty or fucking Dahlia write that. No way. I don't think Maya would have written her own name on the lantern.
How do you know?
Are you implying that Maya wrote her
not
own fucking name on the lantern?
Perhaps you don't know what. You're not thinking things. What the fuck? You're not thinking things through, you see.
What?
I mean, if you'd like to go with your theory, please go ahead and do it.
Or worse, are you thinking Maya's taking the fall for someone? It was to pin the crime on Maya, wasn't it? Oh god, I think I've figured out the case. Oh god. Oh god. Because Pearls was over there. Oh god. There's only one reason. One as obvious as Gene Armstrong in a thong on the Riviera. Interesting choice of cultural reference there. Smack. The killer
he still thinks of Jean all these months. This is a whole game later. Obviously, he had an effect on Phoenix.
Yep. Like, that's, I had to think for a second who Gene Armstrong was, and I was like, Feels niche that it's a side character from last game.
Should have known who that was from the beginning. Should have known who that was. Of course you know who that is.
That was last game, right?
Yes, the Frenchman, dummy.
Yes, I know. I was just forgetting whether or not the case was from this game or last game, because it's been a while. Just, ugh. Yikes. Anyways. The killer was trying to pin the crime on Maya. Huh? Nick? I shouldn't have to be the one to tell you this, but if the killer had meant to blame it on me, then why wouldn't the killer leave the crime scene as it was?
Yeah,
because it incriminates them!
No.
Oh. Once again, you've been pointing the finger where it doesn't belong. Ugh. God damn it. I've got to recall everything I've seen and heard up to this point. The answer is there somewhere. Bang.
It's there, you're not figuring it out.
Well then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your opinion. Why did the killer leave the message written in blood on the lantern? So I was right, to pin the crime on Maya was the wrong thing. You fucking misleading bitch. Oh god.
Yeah, I guess that's it. I'm the misleading bitch. You better press it. It's what I do. My little trolliness. Come on. Why aren't you pressing it?
The killer wrote it. There's only one reason, and it's easier to spot than Sister Bikini in a bikini. Is there just a theme on these answers? I guess.
Perhaps.
Anyways. It's because the killer is the one who wrote it. Now that I think about it, if the killer was also trying to avoid too bad, Mr. Wright.
Too bad.
Don't you remember the testimony of that rather pathetic, vile woman? I think I was stabbed. Anyway, I suddenly lost consciousness, but before I did, I scrawled her name on the lantern.
The lantern.
Fuck! I forgot she was the one who did it! God damn it!
You
This is what
silly
happens when
Billy.
it's been weeks. Dahlia
I
fucking
don't know.
Hawthorne.
Yeah, this is why you could have gone through all the evidence. I'm sure if you look, let's look at the court record right now. I bet it says scrawled by Dahlia Hawthorne. No, the actual. Isn't there one for the Maya thing? Isn't there? I thought there was.
Tracks
Or did
photo.
they change that?
Crime photo.
Oh, no. Did they not? I thought there was evidence with the
Dusky Bridge photo.
Dusky
No.
Bridge photo. No. Oh well.
At
Still.
one point, the lantern did include that, or that was its own thing, but that's since been removed. Of course it fucking has.
Oof.
Although I just realized she had the Y basically upside down. Whatever. I'd hoped it would cast suspicion on Maya. Fuck! Oh yeah,
Well?
she did say that, didn't she? You and Dahlia. I'm
You
not sure which one of you
suck.
is more pathetic.
You suck.
Fuck you! I have to recall everything I've seen and heard up to this point. The answer is there somewhere. Bang. Well then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your opinion. Why did the killer leave the message written in blood on the lantern?
Ooh, look at that teeny weeny little bite. Oh, goodness.
Prosecutor Godot, early in this trial you gave me some good advice. Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. Maybe you're not as dumb as I thought. Fuck off.
Except for the fact that he just got the last two wrong, so, you know.
I know. I forgot things. It's been weeks.
Obviously.
This is what we get for not playing a lot more frequently. And me just not going back and, like, checking facts or, like, recording things that are important.
You should have
Anyways.
done that, but you didn't done that.
Well, it's also the fact that it's a live stream instead of, like, me editing down a video or something and reviewing the case. Anyways, the real killer wanted to disguise the fact that a crime occurred there. If that's the case, they wouldn't have left the bloody writing on the stone lantern on purpose. Therefore, it must mean that they didn't notice it. But that doesn't make any sense. The torches were all lit and everything.
You figure that out, silly? How hard is that to figure out?
There's no way any normal person would miss something as glaring as that.
Exactly.
You're right. There's no way
There's
any
no way
normal person would.
person.
What are you trying to say, Mr. Wright? There's only
Yeah,
one
what do you
person involved in this incident who could have missed seeing the bloody writing altogether. And who would that be? Who was a person that could have failed to notice the bloody writing? The person who can't fucking see red! Who we know didn't see the writing earlier.
We finally figured it out. It only took you 7 years.
A man. Mr.
It's
Godot.
been 84 years.
All right, Rose.
I wish I had that clip on hand. Actually, I'm gonna go get it.
Yeah, that would be good. I also need to make you a fucking soundboard program still.
Yeah, you do. I mean, you also need to put in job applications, and you haven't done that either, so...
I know.
Yeah, no. I don't have
But
much
the thing
hope
is, a
that-
soundboard application would probably go off better with, like, people. Like, that would be really easy to program, and I could sell it easily.
Still need a job.
I know. Anyways, this is what you said yesterday. My side is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I still can't see everything. You can't see everything? Is that correct, Mr. Godot? This lantern was submitted as evidence today. I would like the court to look back at to the moment it was first presented. This lantern... There's something written on it. Why, it's written in blood? Nonsense. This lantern, it's as clean as a whistle. Mr. Godot, just admit it. There are certain colors you can't see, correct? You can't see red on a white background, can you? That's right. We went through this once before, during the poisoning case at Tribulations. Wait a minute, was that this game? Babe, I think that was this game, not last game. Uh-huh. This is the apron that the delightful Miss Bird was wearing at the time, and somehow spilled coffee on. There's something still bothering me, Mr. Godot. Why have you not explained the bloodstain to the court? Bloodstain? What bloodstain would that be? Don't play games, prosecutor. The blood-colored stain that's smeared all over the apron. That's ridiculous. No one told me anything about a bloodstain. You could see the coffee stain on the apron, but you couldn't see the ketchup. Because it was red. Huh. It's strange. In the black and white photo, those letters would have appeared black to me. I wonder, why am I the only one who can't see them? So then, Mr. Godot, are you admitting it? Are you admitting that you couldn't see the red writing on the lantern? Hey, Gramps, don't you know? That's the reason why I don't drink red tea. I wasn't sure about it until now, but I just can't believe it. Prosecutor Godot is the murderer, but there's no going back now. I finally figured out the truth. Boy, oh boy! Alright. Mr. Godot, the defense at this time formally accuses you. You are the murderer of Miss Elise Dunham, also known as Miss Misty Fey. It's hard to believe this may be true. However, once again, Mr. Wright has brought up a disquieting fact about you. Huh. Just make sure you don't fill out the indictment in red ink, Gramps. Come on, how does a little graffiti make me into the killer? Besides, it's not like it's my name that's written there. Objection. I'm certain that the killer wasn't able to see the color red. This is rich. Do go on, right? The answer is right there at the crime scene. In the snow. The snow? How so? Well, for example, why did the killer move all that snow? Your Honor, you said it yourself. If they wanted to hide the bloody snow, why not take out just that area? Yes, why didn't they just take that area? Oh, could it be? Yes, the killer couldn't see the red blood that seeped into the snow, and so he had to remove all of the snow. He couldn't be sure of where the blood had landed, so he removed the whole area. Isn't it more likely that the killer didn't see the blood because it was dark? Not a chance. The torches were all lit. They would have been able to see just fine. It seems that once again this trial has taken an unexpected turn, to say the least. Can you explain this, Mr. Godot? Wait! Just wait a minute. Maya? What is it, witness? Mr. Godot isn't the killer. After all, he didn't even come to the Inner Temple until 2 days after the murder took place. He didn't show up until after that old bridge got fixed up. Objection. Maya. You can't testify to something like that. Why? What do you mean? I may not look at it, but... After the murder happened, you didn't even exist. She didn't. I'm afraid I don't follow. Oh, you senile old man. We established this just a little while ago. After the murder, this witness was unconscious for a long time. Because she was channeling Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh, that's right. Please, Your Honor, let me add to my testimony. Nick, please listen to me. Maya, do you plan to cover for Godot no matter what the cost? If that's the case, then I've got no choice. What was that snap for? Hello?
What?
What was that snap sound for?
Oh, I'm not even paying attention. I'm sorry. My brain is literally in another world usually. I didn't even realize I snapped. Have people disappeared into dust yet?
You are not Thanos wearing the fucking Infinity Gauntlet.
But imagine if I was. I could get rid of that stupid Twinkie Spider-Man once and for all. Then we could bring back Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire, and I could have a threesome. What?
They did come back at one point for a specific
Yeah, unfortunately. Thing. Yeah, I know, with that stupid Twinkie one. I don't like him.
What's so wrong about Tom Holland, might I ask?
I just don't like him as a Spider-Man, and I don't like him in general as an actor. I don't like it. I don't like anybody that everybody fawns over. Oh, the girl's like, oh my god, he's so fucking cute. Like, no, he's a man. Get over it. He's not that attractive. Not my type of thing. I like a man with some hair on his chest. I like an older gentleman. More experience.
Interesting that you're into me then.
Yours is love, not sexual. Well, it's both, but it's love, not sexual, just attraction.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference. I'm not going to be falling in love with Andrew Garfield or etc. or Adam Levine or whatever the fuck his name is, the Hemsworths or whatever. Would I like to fuck them? Sure, but that's not that's different.
Mm. All right. Your Honor, let's hear her testimony. If it means we're going to hear the whole truth, I say we should not silence her. Huh. Nicely done, Wright. I was going to make a remark about the fact that you're basically just turning Spider-Man into a sex object, but you also said you don't like him as an actor, so... And I will admit the writing in modern Marvel films is questionable at best. Anyways. Very well, let's hear the witness testimony. Please tell us what happened at the Inner Temple after the murder. Yes, sir. After I woke up, I began channeling and my spirit left me, as it were. But that little girl was there at the Inner Temple, too. That little girl? Parley was also stuck on the Inner Temple side that night. The next morning, she looked around but couldn't find anyone. The next day, when the bridge was finally fixed, she was in the spare prep room. That's when Mr. Godot arrived at the Inner Temple for the first time. He found Parley first and cheered her right up. Who is this, Parley? That's my little cousin, Pearl Fay. So when did you hear about this? Oh, just a while ago, when I was in the medical office. I'm terribly sorry, but what you heard from someone else is simply not admissible as testimony. What? Come on! Parley would never tell a lie. She's also a way more honest person than I'll ever be. Real smart, Maya. You always know the best things to say when you're under oath.
What she does.
I mean, to be fair, we already know she technically lied earlier. And I think she's referring to lie by omission, which also is covered under oath. Now that I think about it, because you have to tell the whole truth. And who the fuck is... Oh, it's... Oh, even worse, it's Team Snapchat. Fuck off. I was like, oh, someone Snapchatted, but meh. Who the fuck cares? I don't give a shit about them. Anyways, real smart, Maya. You always have the best things to say when you're under oath. Huh. The prosecution has no objection. We believe the witness, Mr. Godot. Let's just move on to the cross-examination, if the defense has no objections. This is highly unusual, but... Well, Mr. Wright? Let's get this cross-examination started. After the incident. Parley was also stuck on the Inner Temple side that night. So where did do you think? Okay. Where do you think Pearl slept that night? In the spare prep room next to the training hall, I guess. There is a rule that you can't enter the training hall during an acolyte's training. But even so, why did she go to the inner temple in the first place? It seems that Pearls became very worried about Maya. She knew that the spiritual training I was about to undergo was very intense. Pearls was supposed to channel Dahlia Hawthorne, but she couldn't do it. That's why she headed to the inner temple. However, Dahlia Hawthorne was already there, possessing the body of Elise Denim. The next morning, she looked around but couldn't find anyone. Hold it. She searched the entire inner temple side, end to end. Well, you see, Pearlie gets pretty scared when she's alone, and there weren't that many places to look. She says that she even went back and forth several times. The inner temple side has 2 structures, the training hall and a spare prep room. And there's also a storage shack, I think. That's about it. There was a storage shack, too. Pearls was looking for other people, right? Would she have really examined a storage shack all that carefully? Well, if it was me, that would be the first place I would investigate. So that means it's possible that someone may have been hiding in the storage shack. Oh boy. The next day, when the bridge was finally fixed, she was in the spare prep room. Pearls didn't hear the sound of them working on the bridge? What do you mean? I was just wondering why she would stay in the prep room. If it was me, I'd at least go out and wait at the foot of the bridge. Oh, well, Pearlie said she was sleeping at the time. She said she was too scared during the night. Ugh, if she was, like, totally exhausted and also fucking cold. I mean, maybe. I almost see that. Considering, again, the cold. That she couldn't sleep well and woke up a bunch of times? Poor little girl. All alone like that. Well, we know that she had at least one friend in the Sacred Cavern, Dahlia Hawthorne, who was busy battling with that trick lock. She couldn't let anyone see her, so she wouldn't have shown herself to Pearls. Yeah. She would have been halted a lot of times in that trick lock. Any progress she made, she probably would have had to undo instantly if Pearls got too close to that lock. What happened after the bridge was finally fixed? That's when Mr. Godot arrived at the Inner Temple for the first time. Hold it. So it was your first time at the Inner Temple side, Mr. Godot? That's funny. Am I imagining things, or did the defense ask me a question? Mr. Wright, please save your questions for the witness. What you heard from someone else is simply not admissible as testimony. Those are your words, Your Honor. Touche, Mr. Wright. Oh, well, what do you have to say, Mr. Godot? Hot nights and even hotter coffee. That's what I always say. I just got a very strange idea from that. And then I immediately... Okay, now I'm thinking of fucking Torchwood. Fucking. Ha 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 ha. That show was very weirdly sexual. Not the least part because of the fact that John Barrowman was involved. Ugh. But I'm mostly thinking of the dead guy who... His entire personality was sex, and then he no longer was able to do sex. Anyways, if it hadn't been for this case, I never would have visited there. A Raising Gold Temple on the mountains, I think I'll pass. So you had never visited Hazakura Temple or the Inner Temple, huh? You want to say something trite? In any case, I have to find a crack in Godot's armor. Well, I cross-examine Maya, that is. Very well, please go on with your testimony. After fixing the bridge, the policeman came over to the Inner Temple side, right? Yes, then Mr. Godot. He found Pearlie first and cheered her right up. Well, he cheered her up? That's what Pearlie said. She said he was a very nice older gentleman. Thank you for looking after my cousin, Mr. Godot. And here I was thinking you were nothing more than a coffee addict. Well, I mean, he's a prosecutor too, but... Shut it out, you're making me blush. This guy is really beginning to get on my nerves. in more ways than one. The truth is, there aren't that many places to look on the inner temple side. The policemen were all busy going over the garden with fine-tooth combs. Well, they didn't really do that good of a job, considering we were the ones who found the fucking talisman. But, you know. So I decided to carry out an investigation in my own way, Godot style. I'm the same way. I like to hand down verdicts in my own way, judge style. Maybe I should ask some questions Phoenix style. Forget it. Cheering pearls up, Godot's investigation. Okay, fucking hell. Godot's investigation. You said that you conduct an investigation on your own. Did you find anything? It looks like my investigation went about as well as yours, right? After all, I did miss the bloody writing on the lantern. Well, I didn't miss it, so speak for yourself, Goggles. The only odd thing I discovered was the beauty of the training hall. Beauty? Misty Faye, naturally. Clad in her stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western taste. Western taste? Could you find a stranger way to describe gravy? I was about to say, wouldn't they have had some sort of gravy in old Japan? But no, maybe not. At least that style of gravy. I wonder if that style of gravy specifically came over with, like, KFC. Huh. Maybe that's why there's gravy involved in the wintry case. Because it was just the day in which people have chicken and gravy. Or like mashed potatoes and gravy anyway.
Hurry up!
Anyways, fuck off.
No, you fuck off. You want to finish this fucking game or not?
So from there you headed for the prep room? Wait a sec. What did Godot say just now? I think I just found his proverbial weak spot. There's only one thing of any importance here. Where was Godot when the murder was taking place? He must have already been at the Inner Temple when it happened. Otherwise, he couldn't have killed at least an him. Okay. When the bridge was finally fixed, she was in the spare prep room. That's when Mr. Godot arrived.
Present!
Okay, present on this one?
No.
Oh, the last one.
Yes. I mean, maybe.
This one?
No.
This one.
Maybe.
Okay. Good point. How would he have actually known that it was Misty Faye? Well, he's been here throughout the trial. So...
Would you just... Come on, we gotta get
Objection.
to the game. There's still more to go.
Alright. Mr. Godot, the first time you crossed Dusky Bridge and went into a temple was long before the murder took place. Why do you say that? Because he just made one fatal slip up. The hanging scroll in the training hall. Hanging scroll. Hanging scroll. I was going into the Godot voice instead of the judge voice. It's very subtle, but it is entirely timbre. But Mr. Godot is right. That scroll shows a picture of my mother. Maya, I know you know who it is, but there's something you didn't know. By the time the bridge had been repaired, 2 days after the murder, the hanging scroll in the training hall looked like this. What's that wonderfully delicious smell? Why would it still smell good? It should smell like rot. Ugh. The morning after the crime, someone covered it in gravy. Gravy? But why gravy, Nick? Because gravy was much more than a condiment to the culprit. Well, Mr. Godot, if you really hadn't seen the hanging scroll until after the murder, you wouldn't have had any way of knowing it was Misty Faye. Wait a minute, Nick. Yes? Take another look at the hanging scroll. Look, at the top. There's a crest there. Ah, that. It's the mark of the master, correct? Exactly. So if you know the meaning of the mark... Then you could guess that it was a picture of Misty Faye on there. True, but Mr. Godot described what was neath like this, clad in her stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western tastes. Oh. Yes, it's possible that he knew what the crest meant. However, he couldn't have known that she was wearing specifically her traditional Japanese clothing. Mr. Godot, on the day of the murder, you were hiding at the Inner Temple long before the crime took place. Can I ask you just one little thing, Trite? What is it? This whole theory of yours, it all rests on a certain assumption. That I knew beforehand that a crime was going to be committed. That's right. Otherwise, there's no reason for him to sneak onto the crime scene. Of course, Mr. Godot knew about the plan. Huh? What did you say? Is it really possible that another person knew of the plan? What the fuck? Who the fuck? Huh?
Come on.
This?
Maybe.
Okay. This crime was actually planned over a year ago. Morgan Fay authored the plan for her daughter's future, and these instructions were hidden somewhere in Fay Manor for a year. However, by the time Little Pearls found these instructions, they had already been unsealed. Unsealed? Yes, the killer had read these instructions long before Pearls ever found them. That's how he knew the crime was to take place at the Inner Temple. And you're saying this crafty killer isn't me? You bet I am. But you just said that the instructions were hidden. That's right. Mr. Godot couldn't have known where the instructions were hidden. I'm sorry. If he really wanted to know, he had one great chance to find out. Yes, and what was that? During a visit. A visit? Morgan Fay told her daughter Pearl about where the instructions were hidden during one of her visits to the detention center. That would be the only time for someone to have learned where they were hidden. Eavesdropping on a visit to the detention center. Yes, it could be arranged if you were someone with easy access in and out of there. Like, for example, a prosecutor such as Mr. Godot. Order, order! Mr. Godot, you're under fire again. This murder could not have been carried out without prior knowledge. And you were the only one that could have acquired this information before the murder. Humans are afraid of the dark, and yet, at the same time, we're fascinated and bewitched by it. Maybe that's why humans drink the darkness that is coffee. No, they drink it for the caffeine, but okay. Sorry for always asking, but what the hell does that mean? It means there's a reason for everything. According to your theory, the killer in this case eavesdropped on a conversation during a jail visit where he learned of a hidden plan for a crime. After discovering the plans, he hid in the Inner Temple and waited for the crime to occur. Then he ultimately took a person's life. And he did all that just to protect this witness? That's right. If you're accusing me of this crime, I have to ask you, why would I do this? This girl is nothing but a stranger to me. I've got no reason to go through that kind of trouble to protect her. Oh, yes, you do. I am what you see. I am certainly not the type to rescue the damsel in distress. Oh, you weren't rescuing just a damsel in distress, were you, though? The killer's behavior is certainly extreme, for lack of a better word. Even considering that the killer wanted to protect this witness' life, his behavior is still a little too unnatural. Objection. However, you had a good reason, didn't you, Mr. Godot? An unshakable reason that forced you to protect this witness at all costs. I knew it. You figured it out, haven't you, Nick?
Nick may have figured it out, but let's see if Guy has.
Oh, I figured it out with Armando a while ago. Like, I think I've figured it out. I think.
Hopefully.
We'll see. Maya. I guess you were doing your best to cover for Godot. For the same reason, huh? Okay, Trite, I'm all ears. Let's hear it. It's very simple. Maya Fey is a lot more than just a stranger to you. What's this? There's one person who lies at the very center of this whole story. One person that ties you and Maya Fey together inextricably. Mia Fey. She also ties a lot of this story together, so it's actually kind of apt that she is the core of this final case. There's a very good reason why Maya Fey's life is so precious to you. After all, she is Mia Fey's only sister. Mia Fey. You once worked alongside her. That was when you were a defense attorney. Wait a second here. Mr. Godot is a defense attorney? With your honor's piercing intellect, you must have figured it out by now. The real name of this man who calls himself Godot... His real name is Diego Armando. Isn't that right? Last time someone called me by that name was over 6 years ago. Diego Armando, that name rings a bell. It should, Your Honor. All this is related to a single case. A case in which a convict named Terry Falls killed himself. Mia Fey's first time in court, the tragic outcome left a deep wound in her heart. She knew that behind it all was a heartless, scheming demoness in disguise. But in the end, Mia couldn't tear off that disguise. However, there was one man who reached out to help her. Diego Armando, a senior defense lawyer at the office where Mia worked. It's my fault. It's my fault that Mr. Falls killed himself. Mia, you can't cry yet. Oh God. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. Woof. I was moved by her. The way she put all her faith in her clients. That pure sweetheart of hers. That's why I could never forgive Dahlia Hawthorne. Mia and I thoroughly investigated that fake kidnapping incident. Then one fateful day, Dahlia wanted to meet with me. It had been 6 months since the trial. We met in the courthouse cafeteria. Oh, I just remembered. 6 years ago, right here in this courthouse, you were poisoned. Even I didn't see it coming. Wow, you didn't see it coming. I mean, the guy did kill himself with poison, and then you were expected not to be dosed by poison by the one who convinced him? Dahlia Hawthorne slipped some poison into my coffee. Some newspapers at the time called it a murder, but very little information about the case was released to the press. But you weren't dead at all. No official reports ever officially called it a murder. I was just in a deep, deep coma. I see. My body shut down and my life became nothing but a long, deep sleep. That woman's poison did a real number on my central nervous system. I lost my sight and all my hair turned white due to the damage it caused. That's terrible. Apparently, it was a miracle that I ever regained consciousness. 5 years passed since I drank that poison brew. Then one morning, my eyes flew open from the smell of a doctor's cup of coffee. 5 years? You were asleep for 5 years? And the worst possible news was waiting for me.
The TV show Lost was over. I'm funny. God damn it.
I was about to say, when he went into that coma, Lost would have already been over.
I never saw the finale then. I don't know. No.
They were in purgatory all along, and Mia Fey was dead.
No, because Lost. Because it was 5 years ago. 2010. Well, When did he go out of the coma? Just recently? Maybe.
When he went out of the coma would have been...
This takes place in 2019. No, 2018 maybe. Oh, I don't remember. Yeah, it probably would have been. Oh, well.
Phoenix
Fine.
Wright timeline.
I never saw the finale of...
Once Upon a Time.
Oh, yeah, of course you would insert that shit.
Oh! Oh! How dare you?
I dare.
How very dare.
Well, I dared. I dared.
Let's compromise and say,
Desperate Housewife. No, that's also... Well, that's 2012. That's closer.
Yeah.
Sure, let's go with that. No.
Steven Universe?
No.
I was about to say, Steven Universe got bad.
It's always been bad. Oh.
I
said what I said.
And then it got bad.
Said what I said.
Fuck you.
No, fuck you.
Oh, wait, no. He would have went into a coma before Teen Titans Go was released. Oh, no.
Oh, yes. Did they ever bring back Teen Titans? They did. Oh, God, what is this?
Oh, God, what was that shit? Oh, God.
Put me back in a coma. Oh, God.
Put me back to sleep, Doc.
Yeah, moving on.
From the very moment I opened my eyes, I'd already lost everything I had thought I had. The woman I loved had been murdered. Oh my God, he loved me fucking hell. This woman.
Yeah,
the only reason she's not a Mary Sue is because of the fact that she's dead. Everyone loved Mia. Fuck, everyone. Everyone loved her, loathed her. Anyways, and the woman I loathed had been sentenced to death. The woman you loathed? The woman who had spiked my scalding hot coffee, Dahlia Hawthorne. Huh. Good old Mia. She didn't let me down. She got her revenge before she checked out. In the end, there wasn't anyone waiting for me when I woke up. That's so sad. For someone like me, for someone who had slept away their best days, there were only 2 reasons left to live. And it was for those 2 reasons that I decided to become a prosecutor. If I may ask, what were your 2 reasons to live? The first was you, right? Huh? Me? If I hadn't drank that stupid poison, Mia Fey never would have died, much less the way she did.
Sure she would have.
You were the only one who was there to protect her. But you let her die.
You did a horrible job.
It was all your fault. Well, he wasn't fucking there that day.
Well, why not? How dare he not be there?
It wasn't like that. I wanted to see for myself what kind of a man you really were. So that's why you became a prosecutor?
That's kind of a lame reason.
Is this like the reverse reason of why Phoenix became a defense attorney?
Sure, why not? I don't care.
Except in this case, it's fueled by rage instead of love.
Everything is rage, as it should be.
No, not everything should be rage. That sounds boring.
Everything is
My other
rage.
reason for living, she goes by the name of Maya Fey. Huh? You mean me? You were the only way I could make up for the sin of not saving Mia. 1 year ago, when the Karain Village incident was resolved, it was obvious that Morgan Fey was planning something. Whatever her evil plan was, I was determined to stop it.
Yeah, evil plan, so evil.
Well, she did want to raid or drag the master through the flames of hell or some shit.
I mean, doesn't everybody want to do that?
No.
Well, you're no fun.
My role as prosecutor put me in the perfect position to do something about her. That's how you overheard Pearl's visit with Morgan at the detention center. I knew that the time was drawing near. Since I knew the plan, I thought I could foil it. My plan was to outwit the plan. Or my goal was to outwit the plan. I thought if I could do that, I could keep that girl from getting caught up in it. That makes sense. If Pearls had known that the actual purpose of the plan was to kill Maya, she never would have helped out. Finally, the day of the plan was drawing near. I contacted both of my accomplices. Accomplices? Iris of Hazakura Temple and Misty Faye. I especially needed the help of Iris. She was to take the fall in my backup plan in case we couldn't control Pearl Faye. But how did you contact my mother? She had been missing for almost 20 years. Officially, yes. What? What do you mean officially?
Dumbass.
You've heard about it,
Now
haven't
she's
you?
dead. Isn't that fun?
Yes. About the strong ties between the main family and the government. Now that you mention it, Bikini did say something to that effect. She said that the Master of the Crane had great authority. Even without her official position, Misty Faye still wielded great influence. The police have been keeping an eye on her movements all this time. That's how I was able to contact her. Again, because of my position as a prosecutor. So my mother was cooperating with you? She didn't get to see her mom for fucking years, and now she's dead.
She died. That's right.
Don't ever forget. No matter how far away from you she was, she never stopped thinking
She's
about
a spirit medium. She gets to see her sister all the time. She'll see her mother. Who cares?
you.
That's why these games, you could do
But
something like
never
that.
at the same time.
I mean, well, maybe. Phoenix could at least see them together at the same time.
Only
then he'll
Phoenix?
just tell
Oh, that's sad.
So he'll just record it. Duh.
Aw. I mean, She was always... That's why I knew she would do anything to protect you. If you want to know how strong her resolve to protect you was, look at her staff. Her staff? The one with the sword in it? The day the plan was carried out arrived soon enough. We met for the first time at Hazakura Temple. That's when your mother showed me her special staff. I realized it then, just how far she was willing to go. She was ready to use that sword to protect you from Morgan Faye if necessary. Yes, even if it meant paying the ultimate price. Mother! Dear God. That night, the night of the crime, there was just one way to stop Morgan's evil plan. You mean Pearls, don't you? We had to make sure she didn't channel Dahlia Hawthorne. Well, Pearl, what are you going to do tonight? Well, if you'd like, you can come to my room. Perhaps we can read some books together. We thought we could prevent her from playing her part in Morgan's plan, but she never showed up. She was worried and followed me to the inner temple. That was the thing we were most afraid of, and that's why Misty Faye had to do the channeling herself. She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne into her own body. What? What do you mean? If she channeled the spirit first, then Pearls wouldn't be able to do it herself. As Master of Karain, Misty Faye's power was supreme. And well honed, I would imagine. So that's how it went down. She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne so that Pearl Faye wouldn't be able to. What? Order? Order? What? Is this true? My role in the plan was to make sure no one was going to hurt Maya Faye. That's why I hid myself at the inner temple. Just in case you needed to be saved from Dahlia Hawthorne. Godot. Anyway, I need water. Ahem. God, my throat is dry from doing vocal fry. And voice manipulation. Dear God. Anyway, that's all I'm going to admit to, trite. Huh? There's no doubt about it. You're a great defense lawyer, but you're going to have to do the rest yourself. The background leading up to this incident has been laid bare. There's just one question remaining, Mr. Wright. Who killed the victim? There are only two possible suspects right now. Maya Fey, and I'm sad to say, you, Mr. Godot. Well, try it. If you're the real deal, then finish this thing once and for all. Show us beyond a shadow of a doubt that you can finish this on your own. No, Nick, please don't. Maya. I heard the whole thing from my sister in the medical office. That's why I have to protect Mr. Godot. I can't do it. I can't testify against him. After all, he's the man who put his life on the line to protect Mia, and me too. Maya, I know that. Nick! But even so, it doesn't absolve him of his crime. Please, Maya, testify. Miss Fey, your testimony, please. This is the final testimony. Don't bother trying to hide anything, because I'll know. I want to hear the truth from your own lips. I understand. I'm sure you're right. I'm ready now, Nick. Excuse me. All right, young lady, tell us about the moments before you lost consciousness. What exactly happened at the time of the murder? The time of the murder. Just before it happened, I think I saw some red lights. 3 of them. I thought I'd ask for help, but just then it was splattered with blood. She wasn't dead, though, and she struck back at the enemy behind her. Suddenly, the red lights went out and the whole area was dark. Just at that moment, there was a horrible scream. Right after that, Dahlia collapsed and I lost consciousness. These red lights. I thought you said you don't remember seeing them. I'm sorry. I thought I saw them, but then they disappeared all of a sudden. Huh. Things break, right? Even the best of theories. Who was it that stabbed Misty Fey? It looks like you still can't prove it. Maya is telling the truth this time, I know it. The rest is up to me. Oh boy. Well then, Mr. Wright.
You better know exactly what to do.
Dear fucking God. Proceed
Because
with your
guess
final
what?
cross-examination of the witness.
Look at that tiny amount you have. Well, you can't see it, but you can't fuck this up.
I
You better
know.
You don't press every statement. You can only press one statement.
I'm sorry?
That's not true. I'm just telling you that is the stipulation I am giving you.
Fuck you.
No, fuck you. You only press one statement. Come on. Where is the contradiction?
I saw 3 red lights. I thought I'd ask for help, but just then I was splattered with blood. She wasn't dead, though.
Blood.
Maya doesn't have any blood on her.
That's not. No. She wouldn't. They would not have blood on her this whole time and not bring it up. That's not.
True. Well, yeah, clearly she doesn't have blood on her. So that's why I'm wondering why she's saying she was splattered with blood when she doesn't have any on her. Is this the thing that I need to press on?
No.
Fuck.
I mean, maybe. I'm not going to give you all the help.
Ugh.
You've got to figure it out.
She wasn't dead, though. When she struck back at the enemy behind her, suddenly the red lights went out and the whole area was dark. Just at that moment, there was a horrible scream. Right after that, Dahlia collapsed and I lost consciousness.
Mm-hmm. You're obviously forgetting something.
What am I forgetting? What am I forgetting? What am I forgetting?
I don't know. What are you forgetting? What are you forgetting? What are you forgetting?
Dahlia had time to write Maya on the lantern.
She had time to write Maya on the lantern, but that was before she was stabbed.
Before she was stabbed?
Once she was stabbed, she just went out like a light. So how could she have screamed?
Well, I was thinking that was going to be Misty's scream, unless it was Godot's. Oh my god, is that whose blood was on the dagger?
So how about we present something and maybe find out? I don't know.
Dagger on this?
No, it said press.
Oh god.
So you really don't want to fuck this up.
Okay, hold it.
This is one of those levels where they tell you present something and you're just a bit too ahead before
Yeah. I realize. Okay. What do you mean by just at that moment? Do you mean the moment when the red lights went out? Yes, that's right. The scream that you heard then, was it Dahlia Hawthorne? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure. It was a man's voice. What? That's how she knows it was a man. So then that scream came from the killer? That's gotta be it. I think Dahlia Hawthorne must have taken the blade and attacked the killer with it. And then the killer let out a scream of pain, huh? After that, the killer stole the blade back and delivered the final blow, I guess. Well, Mr. Wright, it seems to make sense to me. It sounds like a reasonable deduction, but I still kind of wonder. Oh, there's a contradiction. I'm sorry to say this, but that interpretation would create an enormous contradiction. That makes sense. After all, my deductions are almost certainly never correct. I love the judge being self-aware for once. Remember the testimony she just gave. Before the killer let out a scream, Maya said she had already been splattered by the victim's blood. In other words, the blade and the staff had already been plunged into the victim. Ah, is that right? She couldn't have struck back with a sword that was already stuck in her body. The weapon that caused the killer to let out a scream must have been something other than the staff. If you're so sure about that, then don't keep us waiting any longer, Trite. There's only one thing I can think of that could have been used as a weapon here. If Dahlia Hawthorne had already been stabbed by the back of the staff, what could she have used to strike back at the killer? This dagger, of course. Naturally, the dagger the killer brought to the scene of the crime, because she didn't know about the fucking sword cane. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. This dagger was found at the crime scene, stuck into a pine tree. Yes, the detective found that this morning and brought it to me. Dahlia Hawthorne struck back at the killer with this, and she managed to wound him as well. Objection. Just because he let out a scream doesn't mean that he was wounded. For all we know, the blood on the dagger could have been from the victim. Objection. Have you forgotten that the blood has already been tested? Since we learned it wasn't the victim's blood, it must be the killer's blood.
That's right.
And we're figuring that it wasn't from Maya, so...
Duh.
The killer must have a wound somewhere on his body.
Somewhere? But where?
The light went out. Oh god! Does that mean he has a wound on his fucking face now?
I don't know, does it?
Oh god. What sort of horrible necrotic thing are we about to see? Alright, we'll find out. So, you're saying the blood on this dagger belongs to the killer? Exactly. The DNA analysis of the blood would prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt. And yes, Mr. Godot, it would prove that it's your blood. Nice theory, Trite. Order in the court. Is this the end? Have I done it? Even he won't be able to change the results of a scientific test. Unless it's not blood. But wait, they would have figured out if it wasn't blood. Let me ask you something, Trite. Let's just say it turned out that I was the killer. Do you really think that I would be stupid enough to leave evidence like that? What? Just think for a second. This dagger was found this morning by a detective and brought to me. There was already a blood stain on it, correct? But even so, I was the one who brought this dagger here to the courtroom. Yes, what does that prove? Well, if I really were the killer, I could have washed the blade off and then planted another person's blood on it. It can't be. In any case, there's one thing I can guarantee, Trite. That blood, it doesn't belong to me. Not a chance. What? In any event, it seems to be established that the killer was wounded. Alright, then witness continue to testify. Hold it! Oh. Wait a minute! What's the problem? I know I probably shouldn't say this, but there's a big contradiction in Nick's explanation. Maya? This dagger, you said that it wounded the killer. That's right. But if Mr. Godot had really been cut with the dagger, his clothes should be bloody or have a rib in them, right? Maya, you act like he only has one change of clothes. I get that he seems to have one single fucking set of attire, but still. Maya? Maybe he just changed his clothes? That'd solve the contradiction pretty easily. What are you talking about? It's not that simple at all. Remember back to the day of the murder? Everyone that was on the inner temple site got trapped there. Oh, that's right. And once the bridge was fixed and the police headed for the inner temple, Mr. Godot was already there waiting for them. He never had a chance to change his clothes. Ack! Order on the court? What was this? Objection. Well, maybe he brought a change of clothes with him. Well, if he was thinking he might need to do a murder... Holy shit, that's what was burned, wasn't it? But no one could have predicted the lightning strike that shut down the bridge. Why would anyone have brought a change of clothes? Did the judge take smart pills during the last recess? Well then, maybe the killer took his off his clothes before he committed the murder. Dear God, no, why? That way he wouldn't get any blood on them. Objection. That's impossible to write. You know how cold it gets up there late at night. After a few minutes with no clothes on, you'd be frozen solid. Ah! Huh. So that's all you've got? I knew you weren't tough enough to finish this. Irk. Right now, if Mia Fey were here, she would have closed the book on this case already. If Mia Fey were here? So come on, Trite, can you do it or not? How about it, Mr. Wright? You've accused Mr. Godot of being the killer, but can you prove it? Have you got even one piece of evidence? The question isn't whether I can prove it or not. The fact is, I have to prove it. That's the only choice I have. I was taught that it's one of the rules of being a lawyer. I can prove it. I'm going to bring your magnificent vengeance to fruition, just as you want it. That's good. A fight till the bitter end, right? Since there's just one piece of evidence that can prove your point, why don't we go for the ultimate unlimited penalty? Are you trying to pressure me, Mr. Godot? Because it doesn't matter to me. I've got the one piece of evidence I need. Give me a break, you've got nothing, Trite. So what do I do at a time like this? It's simple. I've got to think outside the box and approach this from a different angle. Alright then, Mr. Wright, let's hear what you've got. There's one thing I've demonstrated in the previous cross-examination. The killer was wounded. That was proven by the blood on the dagger. But we decided it was impossible for him to have hidden such a wound. If he had been cut by a dagger, there should have been a blood stain on his clothing. There's one place. One place the killer could have hidden his wound. What did you say? Hidden? This is it. My last stand. I need to think about this from a different angle. I don't need to think about why there are no bloodstains on his clothing. I need to show how he hid the wound. It's the end of the line. Final stop, Trite. Let's hear what you've got. Where is this location where you say the killer hit his wound? Wait, how do I prove it?
Yeah, how do you prove it?
That is a very good question. Because I think it's from his goggles.
You got this one chance. This is it.
I know.
This is the end of the game. Don't fuck this up.
I think it's from his goggles.
Okay.
How do I prove it's his... How do I present that it's his goggles? Temple map, the photo of Elise... Fucking weather data? No. Shichishito, the sword cane, autopsy report, tracks, crime? Ugh. Crystal sphere, the talisman? No. Burnt letter, dusky bridge photo.
Don't fuck this up.
I know, I only have one fucking option. Or chance. To be fair, I think I would only have one chance anyway. But, you know. What is the evidence that I need? Because it's his goggles.
Okay, what has his goggles?
His profile picture, right?
Maybe.
Huh. I don't know what you're talking about. And frankly, I don't need to know. What I do know is that you'll never be half the lawyer she was. Isn't that right, right? What was that just now? Mia? Yeah, it can't be. You're living on through him? Even as we speak, you're still hiding the wound. It's beneath your mask. During the fight, the red lights given off by the killer suddenly disappeared. Seconds later, the killer let out a scream. That's right, your mask went flying off your face. Mr. Godot, would you mind removing your mask? If you have a dagger wound under there somewhere, then I'd say this whole case is solved.
Stop that. You do terrible yelling.
Yeah. I also have to hold back because neighbors.
Dummy.
Yeah. Oh, he just went from a scream to smug. Just now, I saw her spirit in you. I never liked you. 6 years ago. You have the woman who put me to sleep by hiding her bottle of poison. And then, while I was sleeping, you let Mia die. But you didn't care. You just kept living your pathetic happy-go-lucky life. You even had the nerve to follow in her footsteps as a lawyer. Well, he was kind of her apprentice, but you know, whatever. Never mind. I could never forgive you. That's what I thought. Mr. Godot. But I was wrong about you. I knew it from the very beginning. The truth is, the only person I could never find it in my heart to forgive, let me guess, was yourself? Wow. Oh, and now we get to hear his theme music. Wasn't it?
Well, I don't need a peanut gallery, just play the damn game.
You yourself? I was the one that failed to protect Mia. Me and no one else. I tried to avert my eyes from the truth, to escape from the harshness of reality. Well, you lost your eyes in the process, so... I just couldn't face Mia's death head on, so I ran. I hid behind a mask. I threw away my true name. I couldn't even deal with being a defense attorney anymore, so I quit. But you saved Maya! Yeah, that was my plan. Up until just now, anyway. What do you mean? Are you listening, Maya? If I had really wanted to save you, then there's one person that I should have gone and talked to right away. Who would that be? Are you talking about Nick? But I didn't do it. I tried to get the help of Iris and your mother, but I closed my eyes to the most important man involved. You know why? The real reason. No, why? I suppose I wasn't really interested in saving you at all. Huh? I think I was just trying to salvage what's left of my own broken soul. I was trying to make up for the fact that I couldn't save Mia. Nothing more. That's why I let you walk right into a situation that I knew was dangerous. Forgive me. You're wrong. You put your life on the line to save Maya. Was it really for Maya's sake, though? Even I'm not really sure. What do you mean by that? That night in the darkness of the garden, when I saw her silhouette, a part of me must have known the truth. The truth that it wasn't really Dahlia Hawthorne standing there in front of me. It could have been Misty Faye, or even that little girl. But I still picked up the blade. It was like I was dreaming. I'm not sure exactly what was going on in my mind at that point. Was I really motivated by the pure desire to protect Maya Faye? Or was it something else? Was it my hatred for a woman who had stolen everything from me 6 years earlier? Could it have been simply a desire for revenge? And now, I don't know anything anymore. I did learn something today, however. I finally realized that I was the arrogant one. I was just chasing an illusion, a fantasy. The stupid fantasy of defeating you in the courtroom. You were the one who made me realize my folly. You never ran away from Mia's death. Instead, you picked up where she left off, as a true defender of the people. In that one moment, I understood everything. Alright. Okay. Mr. Godot. I think you already know this, but if you don't, my name is Diego Armando.
Mr. Armando, I believe in you. I know you were trying to save me.
Oh, God.
There's the wound.
Thanks. Your wound, it's bleeding. Huh. Did you forget already? In my world, the color red doesn't exist. These must be my tears. Oh, God. Tears? Ever since I woke up from my coma, I think I've been waiting for this very moment.
Mr. Armando.
You do well to remember this, Maya. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. This time it really is all over, isn't it? Defendant?
Yes, Your Honor?
Although you weren't directly involved in the murder, tampering with the body in the crime scene is a serious offense in itself.
I understand, Your Honor. Mr. Armando explained that to me very carefully. I knew the risk and I willingly cooperated anyway.
Very well. Before I hand down my verdict, is there anything you'd like to say?
Well, there is one thing. I'd like to say something to Mr. Wright. I want to apologize to you.
Apologize? To me? For what?
For the case 6 years ago, of course.
Ugh.
Quiet, you. It's my turn. I just remembered because my brain pills are working again. Weren't you poisoned by your lover? Not exactly, but yeah, something like that. Even now, 6 years later, I can hardly believe it. She was going to do it. She was planning to kill me. I can't believe it.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
guess what? Guess what? It's time for a revelation, bitch. It's not all that surprising. Because the two of you only hardly knew each other. You can be Phoenix, I don't care. You and my sister only met twice.
We only met twice?
Thank you. The first time you met was that fateful day. The day she poisoned Mr. Armando in the cafeteria of this very courtroom.
Courthouse.
The next time you met was 6 months later. You met her again on the day she stole your cold medicine. Doug Swallow was killed. Just gonna brush over.
No way. It can't be true. I mean, during our whole relationship, we were...
For those 6 months, the woman that you thought was Dahlia Hawthorne wasn't actually my sister.
Huh? It wasn't Dahlia?
It was. I hope you can forgive me, Feeny.
Oh my god. Oh god. You mean...
That's right. I lied to you for 6 months.
Oh god. But why? Why would you do such a thing?
Ever since she gave you that bottle one day, my sister was trying to get it back as soon as she possibly could. Because of the police investigation and their surveillance, she couldn't move about freely.
So that's why you...
My sister, from the beginning, she was prepared for the worst.
Prepared for the worst?
She thought you might somehow discover the truth. That's why she was always ready to deal with you at a moment's notice.
You mean she was ready to kill me, don't you?
She already had so much to answer for. I didn't want any more sins on her soul, just being the good Christian woman I am. I begged her not to do it, and she agreed to give me a chance.
And that's why you came to me? You came to get the bottle pendant back from me in her place.
But I couldn't get you to give it back. I failed at something even so simple as that. Just fucking steal it. Like, my god, it's not that difficult.
I mean...
The fucker sleeps, just wait till he's asleep, take it and run. There you go.
Maybe it's because she was trying to avoid getting attached because she knew it was a murder weapon and she also didn't want to leave behind a trail.
Well, too
Maybe
late.
she wasn't
6 months
sleeping with him.
passed, obviously, and she couldn't get it back because she fell for him and blah, 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 blah. I just did this, thank you. Finally, my sister couldn't wait any longer. Fake crying. I am an evil woman. She didn't consult me about her plans for you that day. It was the first time that it ever happened.
That was a bit strange, wasn't it? Up until that day, you two were partners in crime, and she would confer with you.
I think she must have noticed.
Noticed what?
My feelings for you. If I had found out she was planning to kill you, I would have done whatever was necessary to stop her.
Including murder.
Even if it meant her life or mine.
Oh, wow. Iris?
After spending half a year by your side, my feelings towards you, they changed.
Oh my god. I have something to say to you, too.
I hate you, you crazy bitch.
You really are the person I always thought you were. Even after Dahlia Hawthorne was found guilty, I still believed in you. Oh! Dear God. Is Iris dead yet? Fucking hell, Midnight.
Oh, Baka! Yeah, it took you long enough, Midnight. You're fucking 17 hours late. What else is new? How many cups of darkness have I drunk over the years? Even I don't know. I'll tell you, though. Right now, this one here's the greatest cup I think I've ever had.
Is it because you're about to go to prison and not get any good coffee?
Don't you think so, Phoenix Wright?
Oh my god, Phoenix fucking drinks coffee. Yeah, I think you're right.
The purpose of this trial was to rule on the murder of the victim, Elisa
Donim.
I said what I said.
At some point, I expect you to will be tried for your role as an accomplice in this case.
I understand, Your Honor. Baka.
Very well. On the charge of murder, I hereby find the defendant
Guilty. Not
guilty.
guilty.
Bang. Court is now adjourned.
I'm at work and I have a broken wrist. Thanks for asking, Andrew. A, I don't care. B, you're at work. Doesn't matter. You can put on audio. That's what I do.
Well, I mean, that's what Midnight does, just between whatever he has to do.
We're literally at the end. It's all done.
Have you still not been able to find... Of course we figured it out a while ago.
We're done. This is it. We're over. We're in the end game. So you better hurry the fuck up because we also have a lot of credits after this.
Oh, God. So I guess it's all over. The way everything ended. Was justice really served? The man who risked his life to save Maya is being sent to prison by my own hand.
Yeah, of course justice was served. It's me, bitch. I'm back.
Mia!
I'm proud of you, Phoenix. Your defense was truly brilliant.
But I couldn't save Mr. Armando, the man who cared so deeply for you.
You're wrong, Phoenix. You're always wrong. That's why you're a terrible student. You did save Diego. You saved him in the only way possible, by putting him in jail.
You mean with that verdict?
I think one day you'll understand. No, you won't. Phoenix, I want you to remember one thing. You were good out there as any defense lawyer could ever hope to be. There's nothing more you can learn from me.
Mia?
You've accomplished something I wasn't able to, so guess what? You're never going to see me again. Thank you.
Mia.
I'm sure we'll meet again. No, you won't, because I'm pretty sure you actually never see Mia again in any of the future games.
I think that was an implication for the afterlife, but okay.
I mean, that too, whenever Phoenix eventually gets killed.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be killed canonically in the series, though.
I'd believe it, though. Nah, I'd believe it. They've done 6 games with him already. Technically 5 if you... Because he was only barely in Apollo Justice, and then he was the half hero for the other 2 games, but he was still involved. So I would say he's one of the...
And of course the crossover game, but...
I don't count the crossover game, because technically that's not canon.
Yeah, it also isn't canon to the Professor Layton world, but...
Anyway, yeah, my point is, it's not... I easily could see them killing him off. They gotta kill somebody off if they ever come back to this series. They gotta kill somebody important off. They just gotta do it. They gotta do it. Anyway.
I mean, they front-loaded all the important murders. Mia.
Wait, Mia's dead? You're so stupid, Midnight. Mia's been dead since game 1.
She's been dead since case 2.
Anyway, moving on.
I've handled lots of cases and seen a lot of things, and along this journey I found myself asking just one question. What does it really mean to defend someone? I suppose today's case produced one possible answer.
Ooh, she has her own Wikipedia page. Good for her.
Nick? Maya.
I wonder how many Ace Attorney characters have their own Wikipedia page.
I feel like a lot should.
There's Phoenix, and Miles, and...
I mean, theoretically, a lot of side characters should too.
No, I mean actual Wikipedia. No, Wiki and Wikipedia are 2 different things.
Oh, whoa, yeah.
Yeah, Wiki, obviously. I'm talking about specifically Wikipedia.
Oh, straight up Wikipedia. Oh.
Yes, Mia Fey has her own there. So, that's good.
Oh. What does it really mean to interrogate a parrot? Dear God.
She's dead, she's dead, she's dead, she's dead, she's alive, she's alive. I don't trust that, because they say significant other, Diego, Godot, Armando, boyfriend. girlfriend. How do you know that they were boyfriend-girlfriend? You don't know that? You don't know that?
He liked her. That's all we know.
You don't know that? Okay, but did she like him back?
That's a good question that we don't really understand.
Exactly, bitch. That's what I fucking said. Exactly.
I mean, I think we know she looked up to him, but...
Yeah, but so. Yeah.
I guess it's just like my
She's not
sister
appeared
said.
anytime since
Your sister,
filed
Mia?
relations.
That night, when I channeled Mia to get her advice on what to do, this is what she wrote back in my notebook. Don't worry, Phoenix will save everyone in the end.
But
Come on, cut it out with that gloomy face. Can't you see? Me, Sis, and I'm sure... Iris, too. We owe you for everything you have done for us, Nick.
there was anime about this episode. Of course there was.
Maya. How? How can you be so bright and chipper after all that's happened? You were brutally attacked. You even saw your mother murdered. Youch!
I'm
Francisca!
back, bitches. Still as softy as always, Phoenix Wright. I'm also back, bitches. Excellent work, boyfriend.
Mr. Edgeworth! When did you get back?
Oh, that's right. I guess no one filled her in on that. Edgeworth and Francisca have actually been helping me.
Helping you?
If these two hadn't been here on the first day of the trial... oh, God. The defense wouldn't have gotten anywhere. I can't believe I forgot about that at the start of this trial. Oh, God.
Wow. But where were you, Nick?
I heard he fell into
a river and caused a nasty cold, which forced him to sleep all day. Would you stop doing my lines, bitch? Yes, he laid in bed shivering from his fever with Iris's hood pulled over his head.
Oh, ouch! Talk about embarrassing, Nick. You look like training. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Edgeworth, and thank you too, Francisca.
I don't suppose... Oh, wrong voice. There's room for me in this group hug, is there? Can I be in there and touch all your butts?
Oh, God.
Oh, Larry!
What's with the longer than usual face?
I realized something when I was reborn. I realized that Larry was never of use to anyone, not even once.
That's not true, right, Nick?
What? You're asking me?
Duh. Is that true? Come on, Nick.
Yeah, of course.
I knew it. Everyone would be better off if I were gone for good.
No, Budsy, you can wait outside like any dog. Midnight! No! Oh, yeah. Those portraits you painted, they were really good. Isn't that right, Edgeworth?
What? Me? Why are you making that face, Edgy? Bitchy poo! Yeah, sure, indeed. Yeah, I can't. It's lacking resemblance. Yeah, sure. What? Whee! My beauty can't possibly be captured by a mere clown. Nevertheless, I recognize the effort you put into it, and that's worth something.
Thank you, Francisca.
So did you do it like you promised? You're going to model for my next picture book. Frenzy's Whiplash Frenzy.
Dear God.
I saw that title. Don't get carried away.
Oh my God. Buzz is like any dog
Well,
in the
how
heat.
about that?
Oh my
I
God.
guess painting portraits is the only thing I'm good at. The painting a pro is pretty damn good too, if you ask me. Hey.
Huh?
Now that you mention it, I haven't seen her around.
Pearls? Where could she have gone? Normally she would have made a beeline for Maya.
Oh, I'll go look for her. Be right back.
Wasn't she still Mia at this point?
Hey, Pearly.
Yeah, she was Mia, but would Mia have
Right.
stopped the channel?
Mm.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe she's lying down, like, slightly exhausted from the channel. Who knows?
Right. You seem to be puzzled. I suspect you're wondering how Maya can be so cheerful despite all that has happened.
Yeah.
To be honest, I can't understand it either.
Franziska? That's right. She lost her father fairly recently as well.
Yeah, but he was an evil bastard.
Uh,
I think I understand how she feels. Maya is a much wiser person than she appears, yeah, despite getting charged for murder like 5 times. Now is exactly the time when she needs to be as strong as she can be. What do you mean by now is exactly the time? Maya wasn't the only one that was badly wounded by this incident. In fact, there was someone that was even hurt more deeply than she. I believe it is the person Maya is trying her best not to cry.
someone who was hurt more deeply than Maya? Edgeworth, I think I'm starting to understand too.
I'll
Ow!
say, you not then tell me, Mr. Phoenix Wright, who is Maya Fey being strong for?
Pearl!
Okay, you're not a complete dummy.
Perfect.
Pearl Fey.
The poor kid. After all, the reason she worked so hard to follow the instructions was because she loved and believed in her mother, Morgan. It's for the good of the Fey clan. I'm sure she believed in every last word. She thought she was doing it for Maya. That's why she was so happy. It shows how truly devoted she is to Maya. Yeah, like how they put back together the urn. Or, no, wait, it wasn't they who put the urn back together. Never mind. Ugh, whatever.
But it's cruel irony that it was true her exuberance that led to this tragedy. Maya Fey's mother was killed and Maya herself put in the deepest peril imaginable.
And that's exactly why Maya is putting on a brave face. She's doing it for Pearl's sake, until she can see her smile again.
Hey, here's where you all are. Looks like we got quite the punch here. Hey, what was that for, sir? Sorry about that, Scruffy. My whip just seems to have a mind of its own.
You didn't ask for his safe word! What's up, detective?
Oh, you know, this and that. Anyway, congrats on your win. Let's go out. Dinner's on me. My salary's just sort of kind of gone down by a teeny weeny bit, but it's all right. I made reservations at a first-class fresh restaurant tonight. Ah! Pretty good work, Scruffy. That whip was your reward.
Oh my god. Detective Gumshoe. You said a first-class French restaurant. You don't mean...
Ah! Where else?
I knew it. We're doomed.
Come on, let's go, everyone. Can't keep Maggie waiting. Yay! Hey, you crybaby, you're invited too. Oh, forget about me. Pearl and I will be at the loser shack eating potatoes.
You know, Maya is taking an awfully long time to get back. She's still out looking for pearls. Oh? Maya, what's wrong?
Nick, what do I do? Pearlie, I can't find her anywhere.
Huh?
I'll bet she just went back home, that's all. Yeah, a child. I thought so too, so I called the village. But no one's heard from her. This has never happened before. Again, wasn't she just Mia like 5 minutes ago?
Yeah, she wouldn't have made it back to Korean Village at this point. It takes like half an hour to get from here to there. Plus travel time to the station. Anyways.
Whatever. Yes, she's been badly hurt by the incident. She feels largely responsible for the tragedy that has befallen you, Maya. But none of it was her fault. What? What should I do?
Detective Gumshoe.
Yeah, what is it?
Could you guys go on ahead?
What about you?
Maya and I we'll join you guys once we find pearls.
Nick?
Don't worry about us, Detective. We may be a little late, but we'll definitely be there. We have a lot of sound rating to do tonight, and I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Yeah, but you're the... Very well, Phoenix Wright. We'll go on ahead. Shut the fuck up, Gumshoe. You'll ruin the surprise. Don't keep us waiting, Wright.
We won't. But where should we look? Where could Corelli have gone? Let's go, Maya. There's only one place I can think of that Pearls might have gone to.
February 10th, Hazakura Temple, main gate, blah, blah, blah.
Hazakura Temple. For Pearls, I bet this is a very important place. After all, it's where this whole incident started.
What's this? You're all back again so soon?
Sister Bikini?
I thought we'd be eating mashed potatoes alone tonight.
So she's here? Pearly is here?
She's in the training hall. Why don't you hurry along and go see her?
Okay. Pearly's not here. Maya, the hanging scroll.
Oh,
Someone cleaned it off. It's got to be Pearls.
ah! Mystic Maya.
But Pearly! Why did you just leave like that?
Mystic Maya. Mystic Maya, where? I'm just 8. An 8-year-old shouldn't have to go through this shit.
Is she 8 at this
she's-
point?
Yeah. Because the next game she appears in, she's 16.
And that's exactly 8 years from now?
Yep, that's the 6th game.
Oh boy.
So technically she also appears in the 5th game, but I don't think her age is explicitly stated there. She's just a high school student in the 5th game, so time has obviously passed.
14, 15 then.
In that area, yeah. Although people didn't care for her characterization, because it says that, as it says, reviewers criticized Pearl's characterization in the 5th and 6th Ace Attorney games, deeming her too similar to her appearance in the original trilogy, despite being 8 years older. Anyway, I swore that I would never make trouble for the two of you ever again, or whatever the fuck it just said. Because it's all my fault that Mystic Maya's mother.
That's why you came here?
It's the least I could do to pray for your happiness.
You don't have to do that, Pearly. It wasn't your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. Of course, I'm sad that my mother is gone. But how do I say this? I'm still happy.
Oh, you don't have to lie to make me feel better, damn it.
No, really. It's true. The only reason I'm still here at all is thanks to everyone who was there for me. My sis, my mother, Mr. Armando, Nick.
They're
and
all
you.
dead. Oh, wait.
If even one of you weren't there, I'm sure I wouldn't still be alive right now. That's why I have to be strong. For all the people that were there for me when I needed them. That's all I can really do.
Mystic Maya. I'm impressed. You truly are the daughter of Mystic Misty. This was
Sister
all a test.
Bikini!
Your mother, Mystic Misty, was a strong woman indeed. I want to tell you what she said to me that night. I don't know why I've turned her into an Irish woman, but why not? She seems like the type. She's either going to be voiced by Nicole Byer or an Irish woman. Those are the two roles I've decided to give her.
Oh god, wait. Didn't she go to Scamda, so wouldn't she know a fake Irish accent? Maybe.
Who knows? I don't fucking know.
I feel like it would be hilarious hearing Nicole try to pull off a fucking Irish accent. Even if it's
I mean, that
bad.
could be. That'd be fascinating. I'll tell you what. Anyway, after dishonoring the good name of Kirain, I don't have the right to face my daughter. But still, Maya's always in my thoughts. It's true. She'll always be with me until the day I die. Your spirit was with her. That's why your mother was so strong. I don't know what the fuck accent I'm doing now. Even at the end, I'm sure she had no regrets. Heidi.
She'll always be with me until the day I die, huh? There's a rule or something all masters are to follow, isn't there? To never take the charm off until the day you die.
That's the master's talisman. The thing that Misty kept by her heart, it would never take off.
That's my line, but okay. It wasn't the container that was important. Rather, it was the contents.
We're just trying to get through the end of this, damn it. That's...
A photo?
No, that was my line, see? Mother! Mother!
Mother! It's only natural for living creatures to fight to protect their own lives, but what makes us human is that we fight for others. But who do you fight for? How hard must you fight? That's the true measure of what human life is worth. We defense attorneys are warriors who are constantly challenged by that question. And even when the battle is over and the bonds that connect us are severed, we always return time and time again. Oh my god. Maya, Pearls, Mr. Armando, and Maya's mother too. I learned that from all of them. Oh my god. The urn was broken by Mia too. Aww. Well, shall we get going? Everyone is waiting. This is a day to remember. A day when a lot of things were finally put to rest. I think we should celebrate what we've overcome today.
But I still can't. Oh, go on, sweetie. You could come back for training anytime. But don't steal my lucky charms. Okay.
Alright, I'm going to make a brand new start too. Sister Bikini, I'll be back for more training. I promise.
I know, and I won't go easy on you just because you're the future master. I'll make sure to prepare reservations for 3 when you come back. Highty-tighty-tie.
Alright, we're going to have a great feast today, Pearly. You know why? Because training is a battle of endurance.
Okay, Mystic Maya, I'll eat lots and lots of food tonight.
You know, there's one thing I don't get, and probably don't want to, but... What is it, Nick? Reservations for training is fine and all, but why for 3? Come on, what do you think? You're one of us, Nick. Next time you can train right alongside us. Oh, God.
That's right.
Huh? Dear God.
Wait, this edit is actually really funny.
Oh, God.
Sister Bikini will take special care of you. I'll polish your shillelagh.
It'll be great,
I'll
Nick.
polish your shillelagh real good.
We're going to do the special course, naturally.
That's a great idea. After all, Mr. Nick, you would do anything for Mr.
Oh, my God.
Would you even walk on hot coals, right?
Well, in this case, it's something fucking frozen instead. We'll have a nice big meal before we come next time, right, Nick? You know, I was wondering if I can say just one little thing.
Sure, of course
you can.
Oh, I love this part. I can't wait to hear it.
Oh, the
I know we're in
context.
a game. I'm getting goosebumps here. Oh, actually, I don't know. Well then,
here goes
let's see if we
nothing.
can... Objection! And we're done. Except not really, because we still have to actually get through all the end credits crap. But I'm hungry and I want to go eat, so I'm probably going to leave you at some point.
Oh, God.
You have to read it.
Oh, God.
You can skip anything.
As long as I'm not locked up or captured or something like that. I was starting to eat some fucking rolls, too. God damn it.
Well, dummy, you should know that there's end credits.
I forgot that you can't click through the dialogue.
So it's true, Mr. Nick really is Mystic Maya's knight in shining armor. He went through the special course all the way to the end.
Oh,
Actually,
God.
I heard there's a legendary extra special ultra course. I think I'll surprise the two of them by making them a secret reservation.
Pearl, no! The Irish pug who could have fucking from? Oh, no.
Maggie bought me a brand new coat as a present, pal. I feel 10 years younger. I'll never take it off. Oh,
Aw.
please take it off, Gumshoe. Take everything off. Yes, but somehow you don't see the same. I guess that dirty, shabby old overcoat is just more detective-like, sir. Don't worry about it. In the name of love, a man will soil himself silly.
Oh
Oh,
my god.
Gumshoe
Those two.
pistolly confirmed.
Yeah.
Hey, look, remember me, bitch? Mr. Wright, I'm once again in your debt. Thanks to you, the Treasures of Kurain exhibit was a great success. I even got to see Miss Von Karma, who I hadn't seen for almost a year. She taught me how to use a whip and said that I must show you what I've learned.
Oh my god! Francisca really is the kinky queen.
Desi and I started a company called Mass to Mass Consulting. We're dedicated to stopping the evil plans of all the criminals in the city. Our motto is cut it out, please. Pretty cute, huh? Well, we also explained the criminal. I wonder if that's okay. Sometimes I think maybe we're the worst criminal.
Oh my god. That is very in character now that I think about it.
Mr. Wright, I want to thank you for exterminating Don T. Gray. He returned the 500,000 along with a tea set. A special thick tea, one I mixed with my own two hands. I bet he's drinking it now with thorough compromise. Or went through compromise, excuse me. He.
Uh-huh. Man, this guy. I'm just holding in the way. A wriggly, grubby old... At least that's what I thought. But my grandkids had a birthday party for me the other day. Talk about embarrassing. 6 and 9 years old, and I cried like a baby in a dirty diaper.
Oh, there we go.
He's 69, of course.
Hello. It cut out, I guess.
Oh.
I was wondering why there wasn't much. This Wi-Fi is terrible right now.
And you hired a new programmer to replace Glenn. I do hope everyone knows his name. His name is Adam Mada. As soon as I heard his name, I knew our brain circuits would align perfectly. Okay.
Trying to read, but this damn Wi-Fi is being real shitty right now.
My, more reporters? Since the murder, we've made so much money, I hardly know what to do. I think the magazines like us because it provides such a nice visual, especially in spring. I can hardly wait for Iris to come back. Woohoo!
You've turned into such a respectable man, Feeny. It was so sweet of you and everyone to come and visit me here the other day. Of course, I was happy you constantly had your eyes on me, Baka. I felt kind of bad when the little one slapped you so hard you got a nosebleed.
Oh my god, Pearl. No, your shipping reflexes are too strong.
Duh. Voices. Phoenix Wright, Ben Groman Judd. Because he goes, objection! And take that! And hold it! Sean King.
Who did Mia?
Christina
Catano.
Catano.
Godot,
James C. Wilson.
Makes sense.
That doesn't make sense. You don't know who any of these people are.
Genesu.
Janet Hugh. Actually, I do know. I believe I know who Janet Hugh is.
Oh my god. David
Objection! Here we go.
Oh no.
What's this? I'm back from a long and tiring vacation and no one's here to greet me. I guess while I was gone, my little whippersnapper buddy didn't know I got no one. And what kind of lonely, crazy security room is this supposed to be anyway? What with all the flashing lights and switches, I feel like some sort of space alien. And now what am I going to do with all these macadamia nuts I brought back for everyone? If I bring over to Edgy Poo, I'll know exactly what to say. I really can't accept these. I'm afraid, or something so painful it's fragile. Oh, no, will I ever find a gentleman who treat me as a friend? I told you she'd be back.
Dear God, old bag. Bark, cries Midnight.
I finally found something I love to do. Frenzy's Whiplash Splash is going to turn the art world on its head. I should have realized it sooner. Self-centered, lazy, antisocial. I'm an artist. A really good portrait artist. I'm not a loser after all, boy. He's calling you out.
Me?
You? Picture. Other picture.
Huh.
The end?
The end?
I don't remember. Yeah!
Woo! Fucking finally!
All right, we are done.
Hooray!
Our journey. I'm hungry. I'm gonna go make food. Goodbye.
All right, you go. I'll do the sign off because my God. All right, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Leave likes, subscribe if you want to see other series from us because we are done with the Ace Attorney trilogy. My God. Next we have things that we can do. Oh God. In the coming future, we have Danganronpa. That's going to be great. Andrew and I will have to figure out what we're going to do in the meantime before then because I don't want to jump immediately into another big game. No, excuse me. I find it interesting. All of these fucking game series, most of them are just surrounding murder. Just all of them. 999 was about a lot of murder. Hell, fucking Night in the Woods starts with the fact that there's some people just going missing. And then eventually we find out it was all murder. Ah! All of the 2GaysStream stuff has mostly been crime related. My God. Crimes! Oh God, I guess we really are May and Greg in this case. In this case, anyway. In my profile picture, normally we're Greg and Angus, but I digress. Anyways. Notification bell for notifications is when we go live because sometimes we miss a stream and it's easy just to get notified. And yeah, but also the stream schedule is on my about page. It is a rough stream schedule because sometimes we start or end late. Yeah. Or end early, you know. 'Cause sometimes things just happen. Usually it's that we end late more so, but I digress. You can also find Andrew and I's podcast there. It is a drag show review podcast. In coming weeks, we will be covering Drag Race Thailand. That will be very, very fun. And what was I thinking next? Oh, also the Discord. The Discord is linked on the About page if you're wanting to join that. That would be fun. Come, please, liven up the Discord server. Anyways, bumped my mic. That should just about do it. Oh, except for the fact that Andrew's channel is also linked in the description. Go check that out. He makes content too. On his own. Yeah. Anyways, that should do it. Thank you so much for watching. Well, this time, this has been Guy with the Knife Smith and Andrew B, who was off making food. And we're signing off. Until next time, take care. We'll see ya. Bye!